Okay, so guys, today, like I was saying, this is the third video on Azure DevOps Organization. Part one of this video is on our timeline, our YouTube channel, Silver Tech Space right here. So the video is right here. This is part one of the video, Azure DevOps Organization, like how that this is for absolute beginners. This is 101, the first part of the video, 101. And the next video in this series was 102. This one was part two. So today we are making part three of the video. So in this part, a little bit of highlight of the first part. The first part was a little bit of what Azure DevOps Organization actually is. So which is typically Azure DevOps Organization is just a platform same like Jira that is being offered by Atlassian, which Atlassian is an Australian organization. So it seems like Jira that software development teams or maybe projects management or whatever form of project they want to use that platform for, but more of software development, they can use this Azure DevOps Organization, same like you can use Jira to plan your software development project, build it, and be able to deploy or release your software using the same Azure organization platform. So the first part of the video, I literally show you how you can start out with this platform from scratch. So because this platform, we are using it for professionals with this because this is our channel. We're using this channel to build professional videos for people that already work in the industry, as well as for students, as well as for training institutions. So that video, we went from scratch because if you want to learn from scratch for as an absolute beginner, you do not need to go and take the paid version of Azure DevOps. So to do that, that first video, part one, it simply shows you how you can go and create a brand new email. Because for you to have an Azure DevOps account, you need to go from outlook.com. Outlook.com. It will help you to create an email, an Outlook email. From as you can see from right here, this email is the domain is outlook.com, and you can use that Outlook email and create an account, a Microsoft account, and you create an organization. Then from within the organization, you can create projects. That's what that's typically what first uh, uh, the first part of the video is all about. So I went from scratch, show you how to create a project because you can see this organization from right here. The name of the organization is Demo Agile 234, and we created this project on that day in the first part of the video, Agile Demo 1. And we went from scratch and explained under the project because you can see from the left side of the video. Can you all see the left side of the video from my screen? Just a second. Let me make it a little bit smaller so that we can all see what I'm talking about. Let me see. Yes, I can bring it down a little bit. Okay, so you can see from the lowest part of my screen. Let me pull it down a little bit, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about right here. Let's see. Okay, let me expand it completely. Okay, you can see from the left side of my screen, you can see project setting from right here. So from the project setting, I was able to explain in the first part of the video what each of this mean in projects management or maybe software development, all of that. I was able to explain all of this. I even went as far as explaining what you can see like under repos, right? You can see under repos. Sorry guys, is my screen is shaking. So under repo, I was able to show you how wow, sorry, really? Okay, so there's my screen. So I was able to show how files, you can be able to visualize files, you can be able to see the different commits, you can be able to see the different push that the developers are pushing onto the different repos. And you can see the different branches and the different tags and pull requests. Then I went ahead and show you pipelines. I talked about pipelines in this video. In that part one of the video, I talked about pipelines. I talked about artifacts. That was it. And I talked about test plans and test cases in that part one of the video. So if you really want to understand what all of this means, you really want to watch that part one of the video under this series. And on the second part of the video, I went ahead under the organization and showed how you can go from organization, because for you to go from organization is super easy. You can see it right from here. So like how you can go from project to organization. So we were on this project just a while ago. This is the project that we're on right now. Then to go to organization, you simply come from the top right here and you click on this, because this is organization. This is Azure platform, Azure DevOps platform. This is organization. This is project. So we are talking right from the project dashboard, right from here. So if you want to go to the organization section, you click right here. It will take you to the organization. Under organization, you can see right from the left hand side of this video, of this screen, on my screen, you can see organizational settings. And under this organization, you can create a project, because we have two projects right now. One of our projects is the first project we created in the first part of the video, project demo 1, and the second part is demo 2. I mean, just demo. This is another project. So we have two projects under this dashboard at this time. And you can go ahead and create another new project right from here. So in this, that is the part 2 of the video, we went ahead from organizational setting and we did explain all what you can do under organizational setting. Under an organization setting, you have overview, which is simple. Overview is just what you can see from right here, because you see the URL of the organization. You can create another brand new URL, okay, to make to increase your privacy, and you can do it, give a little bit of description of the organization, set a time zone, and all of that. And right here you can see who owns the organization, the organizational owner. And we went further in that part 2. We did explain we went to projects. You can see the different projects we have. We have two projects, and we went ahead, we show you users, how to add users onto the organization in Azure DevOps. We went ahead, show you how you can visualize your billing and all of that. You can see we have some billings right there. And we went ahead, show you notifications and usage and how you want to, categorize your usage, policies, permissions. We showed how you can grant permissions to the different users onto this platform. Then we show process. This one is very important because me personally, I was charged in my organization the other day to create a brand new Azure DevOps platform, and so I got to one of the pages. So the page where I was supposed to actually create the project, the page was unresponsive. So it was unresponsive. It was completely unresponsive. It was not my fault or my organizational fault. So I went ahead. I put in a ticket to Microsoft, and Microsoft had an agent, one of their representative from China, reach out to me, and we were able to resolve the ticket. Her name is Jen, and she did an amazing job. Right? She did an amazing job. I think as I just made some review. I just gave a review, my review, right, how it went. As you can see from right here, this is my privacy is privacy, right? But I need to show you guys this. So this is it. So this is a ticket number. I was able to track the ticket and was able to talk with that representative from Microsoft. All right. So we were able to solve the problem, right? We created a project and right from there, the next problem that I was having was the the process, because I had a situation where the work items that we had, I was having just issues and tasks, but I wanted to have user stories or maybe with epics. Okay, so I know many people don't understand this. Um, if you don't understand it, don't worry yourself about it. As we go forward, you'll be able to understand. So I went ahead, show I was a pool agent. We discussed other settings. We talked about deployment pools. We talked about parallel jobs. Okay, you can have multiple jobs running. We talked about parallel jobs, and we talked about authentication configurations. Right, how you can authenticate people onto the platform or onto different um, pipelines. And that was it about the part 2 of the video, guys. So today we are making part 3 of the video. I'm sorry that it will be longer for us to explain um, all what we did in part 1 and part 2. Does any one of you guys have a question at this time before we move on, please? I guess most of the question, I know I've talked about many things, right, that you may not be understanding, but obviously maybe if you go watch in this same series, you will see 101, and you also see the video 102. So if you watch 101 and 102 and you have any worries or concerns on in this video on any of those series, then you can go ahead and put your comment in the comment section, and I will always be more than happy to jump on it and reply to your comments or questions or concerns. Okay, at this time, does anyone has any concern before we move on to the to to start with the third part, guys?
Not really, engineer. I think everything you've said there is quite clear and is very well understood. So thank you so much.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, so we'll ride on. Like I said, this video is not going to be too long, right? It's not going to be too long. We want to make sure that we will be stopping. We've just exhausted 12 minutes, and for the most part, this video should be 23 more minutes. In 23 more minutes, we'll stop. Okay, so today, the only new thing that we have added onto this platform, different from part 2 of the part 2 of this series, is that we have uploaded user stories on this platform. I'm going to show you how to upload user stories. This one, um, this user story is exactly what the developers, the team members are working on. Not just the developers, you also have QA guys that are testing all of this. This is what they call work items that the guys will be working on. And so, just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. All right. Sorry for keeping you guys waiting. I had a few things to touch on in the house right here. Okay, so we have this user story. To create a user story, okay, so it's easy. So if you have someone um maybe they have talked with stakeholders and the business, or let's say the business, they want to see something new. They want something that they want the team to be working on. Something like they've discussed from the meeting and they want that the developers should build something new. Okay, so, and for example, let's say they will want to see that um, the payment, okay, the payment option, okay, the payment option of your organization is not working. Users are not able to pay make their payment, instrumental payment, right? So in that case they want to have that added onto this platform. So usually is the one who did in organization software development, the guy who will take care of this situation is usually what they call the product owner. So the product owner, obviously, you come on this platform. It's good that we understand what is going, because this video is not just for the product owner, it's for product owner, it's for project managers, IT project coordinators, software engineers, developers. Sometimes the developers that will have to create this work item. Sometimes it's the DevOps engineers, and just anyone should be able to do this. So that case, it can be a user that actually want it, or something like that. So they will write it. You know, I don't want to go too deep into how you can write a user story, because that one is another whole concept. So that way they will just be like, as a user on this platform, right? As a user, um, as a user, I want to be able to make instrumental payment. Instrumental payment on that platform. That's what the person is going to write. The person is going to make, because usually end users, this is coming from end users that are using your platform. So they'll write all of this stuff. They're going to, like, from feedback, they'll write it in the feedback. I want to be able to make instrumental payment so that I can split my payment. That's it. And once that happens, you in your organization, it will depend on if they want to have it added onto um, maybe uh, in the lower section of your dashboard, or in the top section. Okay, once they do that, they will just click on add, and that's it. Okay, they'll just click on add. Once they click on add, you have it added onto your platform. So it's easy. So I noticed that we just lost what I just typed, but it's fine. I can pull that up. I can pull something up in that regards, and we'll just paste it right there. It's easy. So once that team that they will have that added, right? I just want to add some note on it and show you guys how you add it. So let's say you've typed it all. You've typed it, and I guess everyone is not seeing, like, okay, so right here, you have the possibility to add it either on the top part of your board, or you can add it on the bottom part of your board. So once you click right here, you will see add at the top, or maybe add on the bottom part. But usually it's nice. I have I I do not. I mean, it depends on what you practice in your organization, but sometimes it's great to add it at the top so that everyone can have visibility on that. So I'm going to add this one at the top right here, and now click on right, and now just click on add. This is it created right here at the top. So once it's created, you can go from this item, just click on the item. You'll see a lot of so many things on the item, right? So I'm going to show you so many other things in the fourth part of the video. So in the fourth part of the video, I'm going to show you how they can groom a work item, what they call grooming a work item. So grooming a work item simply means preparing the item so that it can become actionable, so that the developers can start working on it. So once you write the first sentence of what is needed, you go ahead. The product owner is going to go ahead and add the description of what exactly the ask is. He's going to go ahead and add what they call acceptance criteria, And right here, team members can be making their discussions from right here. Anyone that is working on this work can make discussions. Then right here, they can do estimation. We're going to show all of you guys this in maybe the fourth part of the video. So if you really want to not miss that section, you really want to subscribe to this to this series or to the channel in order to be able to watch the fourth part. If you are watching this video at the time when the fourth part of the video is not yet available. Okay, so let's go back to our platform. So on this platform, that's how you typically add work items. Okay, now then the next thing that we're going to cover in this series under this part 3 was how do they do sprint planning in Azure DevOps Organization. Okay, so let me see this. Let's see where we are. Okay, great. We are 20 minutes, and in the next 15 minutes we should be stopping, which is great. We still got enough time. But before we are able to show you how to do maybe how do they plan for this work, you know, how to actually work on this work, we will first of all show you so many things that are happening around these work items. So these work items, you can create I've shown you how to create a work item, and you can be able to create epics. You can create features as well. You can create epics and features. Let me make this smaller. Great. I think this is better. Yes, this is better. So you can create epics and features. Okay. To create an epic is easy. Okay, for when you want to create an epic or maybe whatever. So if you want to create an epic, so an epic would usually is just a composition of a couple of user stories. Okay, so that one is not a difficult thing. So you can also create an epic or feature. To create an epic, just come from right here. There's this drop down right here called you can see this drop down is called stories. And before I even explain that as well, I will make sure that you understand whatever thing that is happening across all this one after the other. So you can create a feature from right here. You see right now we have 2 features in this project. One of the feature is monthly or annual subscription. So this is a feature. This feature is supposed to have a couple of work items under it in order to be able to accomplish this feature. Another one is payment upgrade. It has a couple of user stories under that. And to create a feature is easy. So right from here, you see I've switched to feature. Initially it was stories. So once you switch to feature, you go ahead and click on new work item right from here, and you can create a feature. And that's it for how you can create a feature. It's super easy. So then that means that under the work items, under this backlog, you can add a feature to a user story, because most of the user stories, they'll be tied to a feature. Okay, so one of these user story, let's see, we have a payment user story right here. So you want to make sure that that user story is really tied to the feature. That user story is talking about PayPal. So to actually see that user story, you can either maybe scroll from top to down and you can see that, or you can go to this funnel. I'll click on this funnel right here, the funnel right here on the top right hand side right here. Oh, I can click on that funnel. Okay, this one also, I wanted to make sure that I have visibility on this one. Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. What I just did is initially on this board, this drop down, when you click on this drop down, you don't see epics, but we are doing, it's an agile platform, so you see just feature and user stories, but you want to make sure that epic is also visible right here. So to do that is easy, because you can just click just from setting. The setting button is right there, and you see visibility was just for features and stories, user stories. So you want to select epics as well, and you click on save and close. And that's it. So if you come from this drop down right now, if you come to the drop down, just a moment, is preloading. If you come from this drop down right now, you should be able, the drop down right at the top right here. This drop down, you can see epics, features, and stories. So when you are in your organization, make sure you have visibility on all of these guys. Okay. The next thing is I was talking about a payment user story. If you want to search that particular user story, you can click from this funnel, and you know that this story is talking about paper. You have a paper, a word there like paper, and you don't cannot see the story. Just type paper. Once you type paper, you see, I haven't even finished typing paper, but the story is already up here. You can see the specific story right here. Okay, paper. And this story, you can open the story. You can go ahead and open the story. You can open the story, just single click on it will open that story. This is a story, and this story has its description, okay, and this is talking about payment. So the story is supposed to be attached to the payment upgrade feature, and you should be able to do that easily, right? You should be able to do that easily. You can come like right from below right here, you can see related work items. Once you click on related work item, you're going to have two possibilities. There is an existing item, there is also a new item. So you want to select existing item, since you know that what you're adding is existing. And right here, the type of work, that related work item that you want to add, a feature is a parent to a user story. So you select but parent right here. You select parent. Once you select parent, you will now go ahead and type and select the parent. So if you know the parent number, just key in the parent number. But right now, since we don't have a lot of work right here, because sometimes you have like thousands, we have like you can have like thousands of user stories, so you don't know which one, or maybe thousands of features, so you don't know exactly what it is. So you may know the number, just put in a number right there. The number for this one is 22. I'm going to type 22. Once I type 22, you see this is it right here. It's popped up. Or you just type it, since you know that it's a payment feature. You just type payment. And once you type payment, you see it right there at the top. So you can select that one. Is a parent to that user story, and you see it's attached right here. You can click OK. So that one is attached like a parent to this work item. And you can also do that for so many. You can do that for many other type of related work. Related work can be a child. A child is just a task. A duplicate can be a duplicate of the work that was doing work right, and you want to duplicate the work. Then you can have predecessor. You can just have related. You can also have successor and tested. All of that. So that one shouldn't be any problem. Okay, back to the board. Back to the board, guys. So okay, I made some changes on this one. I need to save that changes right here. I need to, as I've added that item right here, I need to also save that right here on the story. Save and closed. Okay, and I'll clear my screen from right here. Okay, so right here, these other minor functionalities, I'm going to explain this one after the other. The first one is just a backlog, right? The backlog is, you can see that also from the left right here. So when you click on this backlog, you should be able to see, you would be directly on the backlog. Then the interesting part of it is analytics. These analytics will show you cumulative flow, because this one it will show you matrices. This is what stakeholders in your organization they want to see. The cumulative flow have to do with the features, how the features are being completed. So you can see that on that cumulative flow, or how the epics are also being completed. You can see that on that cumulative flow. Right now, you see we have a couple of stories right here, and nothing is not being completed yet. That is why you cannot see that analytics. you cannot, let me go back to the analytics. Sorry, I was not the bot. And you can come to the analytics. And that's why we do not have a specific analytics at this time. So this one is brand new. So we do not have analytics here right now at this time. So if we had completed, you see this guy, he has like 0 right here, showing that we've completed nothing. If a couple of features were already being completed, you will see the matrices from right here. And you can also see the velocity chart for the teams. When the teams are building the work, you can be able to see the velocity chart right here. You click under the velocity. As they walk from one sprint to the other, you will see the velocity being displayed from one sprint to the other. So that's why we do not have any data right now for that one, but we are going to see that in the next upcoming series in the future. Okay, back to the board. We talked about the board, the backlog, we talked about the analytics, and I will go ahead and explain to you the next field. So the next one is just right here, new work item. You can create a brand new work item from here. And the next one is to view your backlog as a board. For those of you that are doing Kanban, that work in the Kanban environment, okay, that are not doing work in a Scrum environment, you work in a Kanban environment, you see this one viewed this as a board. This is the work that developers are working on it, and you can visualize this as a board. The interesting part of this one is that you can do a lot of nice configuration, right? You can do nice configuration because this is the work that has been prepared. Is like in a brown bucket right here. All the work is good. So in that kind of environment, developers are going to, a developer who want to work on a specific item, you see right here, this is work in progress. Work in progress shows here that they're supposed to have like 5 items here maximum. So whenever the number of work items here is less than 5, a developer who has nothing doing at that time can pull in a work item. And how does he do that? He just simply carry the item from here and drag and drop under active. That's it. He drags and drop under active. And once he does that, he will go ahead, use this item, create maybe a repo, and start working on the other new item. And once he has finished working on the item, if he is blocked on the item, I can add another column here called block. Okay, so that if the developer is blocked, he can add, he can add, he can put it on that block. But whenever it's blocked and it's completed, or maybe it's fixed, you can put it right there. And I will show you guys how to do this. So as I did just move the item from new to active, you see it's 1 on 5. So it means that there's one item here right now at this time. If I move the next item and put it right here, it's going to be 2 on 5. And once it's 5 on 5, another developer cannot pull in another work because work in progress is supposed to be 5 items under active. Another developer cannot pull in another work when it's 5 on 5 until another item has moved from here and gone to maybe resolved, and it now has 4 on 5. A developer can now pull in work from new onto active. So this is what I would do in a Kanban environment. This is really real practical scenario how this thing should be done. But many organizations, they are doing it wrongly. So many organizations, they will come right here, they will see that they are limiting their work in progress. Their work in progress is supposed to be 5. They can increase it, that's fine. But some of them will configure it. They'll have maybe 6. Maybe their work in progress is 10, and they can sometimes, I'll see organization, they'll have 10 work in progress supposed to be 10 under active. Then organizations will go ahead and they will pull in over 12 items or 20 items right here, and they'll be doing that, and they'll really see that it's red, because if you pull in an item, the next item in here at this time, you see that it's going to be red. This is right here, red. This is red flag, guys. So those are things that they are not supposed to do. So if you want to have more than 5 items there, increase it. Increase it to the number that you want to have it. So yeah, and that was it. You can have testing and all of that, and you can have another column called testing, and that will be all right. So to add a column here called testing, right, is easy. So you see, because right now we have new, active, resolve, and closed. So you can add another one called testing. You can add, because this is what is happening here. This is the the uh, uh, the software development life cycle. You can have a whole software development life cycle here. Okay. So we'll be stopping the next minute, but let's go ahead and just complete those little configurations. So if you come on the board, if you want to add another column, you come on the board. This is a board right here. You just come to the columns, just click on columns, and you see you have active, you have new, active, resolve, and closed right here. So you can add another one called testing, and you can edit this one. Let's go ahead and test and edit this one. You can edit this one and say it's um, 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 you can call it build, right? You can call it build. You're building. You can call it build stage because the item becomes active. Or let's say if they are building, you can say if you want to say active means they're building the software at that time. You can say this one is testing, right? Testing. And the number of work in progress, you see, work in progress, limiting work in progress. You can say you want to have at most 7 items that are being tested at a time. You put 7 right there and you save and close. So you're going to see it's testing. So this one is going to be build. I can call this build right now. So let's go right there. We go to column, and we can also edit this guy. So it's being built. That one is built, and you can save and close. Limiting work in progress is 5. This one is testing. You can have build. You have leave from new. The developers are building the work, and the work is being tested. And you can even add another stage called deployment, right? It's being deployed. And you can add a brand new column right here. And that column needs to be after the testing. Okay. Call that one deployment if you want. You can be deployment to a staging environment or deployment to a testing environment, UAT environment, right? Or deployment to wherever. And you can maybe say the number of deployment, the work that you want to have it being deployed at the time. Limiting work in progress depends on what you want to put. You may want to have 10, depends on what you want. Okay, so you're constantly having developers that should be able to build work item, have it tested, deploy, and then close the work item. And once you is going for deployment, once it's been tested, once a QA guy has tested the work, he can deploy the work. Once he deploy the work, he's supposed to carry this update. He's supposed to update this work item, put it under deployment, and that's it. So in order not to make this video to be too long, we're going to end here and take questions from you guys. Let's see, take questions, but let me see. Let's make sure that we have everything that we are supposed to cover under that at the top of those items. Let's see what we have. Okay, we've talked about board, we've talked about analytics, we talked about adding new work items, visualization as a board. This one is the column options. Column option is super easy. Column option is just this, what is happening right here at the top right here. So for column options, you can decide whether you want to see this as a title. You want to have title here, you want to have the order here, work items here, you want to have the state, or you want to have area, path, value, iterations, and everything that you've seen right here. Because if you click right here, you can click right here, you'll see the column options here. So I have work type, title, state, story point, area, path, iteration, path. You can add, okay? You can add any other thing that you want to see. You can see assign to. Once I start typing it, will come up. Assign to. So let's see, you check the drop down, you see assigned to it, right? You can add any of these things. You can see accepted by, accepted date, activated by, all of that activity, what is going on that item at that time. All of this, you can add any of this at the top of that column. Okay. So the configurations is very easy. You can add the ID of the item. You can do anything you want to do, right? So some of the usual easy things you want to see is assigned to. Let me look for assigned to, and we can add that one. That is just to show who is working on that item. Okay, assigned to is just to show who is working on that item at that time. So you add that one right there. It's easy. You can also create queries. We'll talk about queries in a different video. We'll talk about email because you can select this couple of items and email to a team member. We'll talk about it in another video. And right here, we talked about this one already. It depends on what you want to see right now. You want to see features, you select just feature. Once you select feature, you can see just feature. You want to select epics, you can see just epic. We don't have any epic right now. You want to select stories, you can see other work items. And this is other filters. You can filter what you want to see, turn it on and off, easy. And you can search, you can do settings, you can enlarge and minimize. That was it, guys, for this video. Um, Before we end the video, any question, please?
No question for me. Everything clear. I really did enjoy the class. I really want to appreciate you so much. It really makes sense to me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for that one. Any question? Any other person? Any question, please? Hello? Can we hear anyone? Can anyone else unmute? All right. If there is no any other question, we will stop at this time and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you like the video, please kindly hit this like button, and also you want to share it with any of your friends. And we'll see you in the next in part 4 of Azure DevOps Organization. Thank you all.